my name's Ben Cooper. I'm the primary principal, but our vision here at the Academy for all our students is empowering today for a limitless tomorrow. And you'll see our tagline, Limitless, is all over our school and all over kind of our social media, etc. Because it's what we're really here to do is empower our students to be as successful as possible in the now. We want them to be academically successful, socially successful, want to build their confidence today at our school in the now, so that they believe in a limitless tomorrow, but also give them limitless opportunities in the future. And we break that vision statement down into 3 core pillars. First of all, limitless learning, and that really is obviously the academic side of what we're here to do. We want children to build knowledge and skills throughout their journey, both through primary school and onto the secondary school, so that they can be as successful as possible. The limitless learning element really comes from that we are very driven by cognitive science and how children learn successfully. We're very research driven. Everything we do with our teachers is all based upon cognitive science, child development, child psychology, social science. Everything that we do is based upon hard evidence and research, so that we know we're doing the best thing possible for every single child at the Academy. But that also isn't just academics, it's also what the research says about children's well-being and how we support students' behaviour, how we make them feel comfortable and settled in school. So it's not just an academic focus, it's also how we support students to be as successful as possible. And as we all know, that's about happiness and well-being and children feeling at home at the Academy as well. So that's limitless learning. And then we have limitless solutions. So that's very much our values driver. That's just kind of what we want our children to be in terms of the values that we want to grow up with. And the idea is that they have an unlimited outlook in terms of solutions. We're very much driven by the Sustainable Development Goals, both from a sustainability point of view for the environment, but also social sustainability. We look at topics such as equality, inclusivity, and we really want children to ensure that they believe that they can make a difference. So the solutions element is we want children to be creative, we want them to be entrepreneurial, we want them to come up with new solutions to make the world a better place, whether that be a sustainability side of things or whether it be kind of the social inclusivity side of things as well. So that's what Limitless Solutions is about. It's about the type of children we want to support and move forward through the school as they're on this journey with us. And then the final pillar is limitless possibilities, and that's really about handing that ownership over time to the students. We want them to take ownership over their learning, to strive and believe that anything is possible, believe that they can achieve anything. And that's really about giving them choice and ownership over their learning. Whether it be selecting ECA pathways that they want to choose. If they're really passionate about cooking, they're doing a bit more cooking. They're really passionate about sport, they're getting involved much more with sport. But it's also about target setting and motivation and them driving their own learning forward alongside the teacher. And what we hope to achieve throughout the Academy, but as soon as their children move through primary school, is that it starts off obviously being a teacher-led type of education, but over time it starts to become a student-led. And we teach and equip students with the skills that they need to take ownership over their learning. So that's very big picture. That's what we want to achieve in the long term with all our students that join us here at the Academy. But obviously, I know that you want to know about the logistics and the day-to-day operation of the school, because that's what's important for parents as well, is knowing how and what your roles and responsibilities will be to support your children in being successful at the Academy. So I'm now going to hand over to our wonderful primary leadership team, led by Miss Georgie Bradley. And we also have some of our head of phases who will introduce themselves as they go through the presentation, who will talk you through some of the day-to-day aspects of the school and things perhaps you can consider now, but also talk to you about what you could do between now and September to prepare your child. So I'm going to hand over to the team now. If you have any questions, then please feel free to pop them in the chat. Thanks, everybody.
Good morning, good afternoon, sort of on the cusp of both. I'm Miss Bradley. I'm the assistant principal, or one of the assistant principals here at Wellington Alkale. And I'm sure I will see lots of your faces very shortly in September. We have a group of wonderful ladies here for you to get to know as well, all 3 of which will be really helpful to know. So we have Mrs. Rowlings. She is currently the head of phase of Key Stage 1, and she will be promoted next year to an assistant principal. So although she will run through some of the slides with you here, we will tell you who the head of phase will be at the end also. But she's also another great lady to know. We have our head of phase of lower key stage 2, that's year groups 3 and 4, which is Miss Bronton. And then our head of key stage, upper key stage 2 is Mrs. Voller. I'm sure that you will see those faces around first thing in the morning, on the door, and also throughout the school day. So those are the 3 ladies that would be really important for you to get to know and to seek out in the first few weeks of school. If there's anything that you need, they're the ladies to find. So there'll be a lot of information for you today, and I hope a lot of it will be really useful and interesting for you. If you have any further questions to ask, please do feel free to use the chat, and we will try to answer as many questions as possible. We will also email you this presentation, so if you have any questions in the future, please let us know. I know sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, all the information coming to you at once. So if you have anything else that you want to ask us after looking at the PowerPoint presentation, please feel free to do so. So I'm now going to hand you over to Miss Brunton, who will run you through our national curriculum.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, welcome to the Academy. Like Miss Bradley said there, I am Miss Brunton and I am head of year 3 and year 4, which we call lower key stage 2. So if anyone's new joining from year 3 and year 4, like Miss Bradley said, I'm your first point of contact, along with our heads of year, who you'll meet later on in the year as you join our school. So obviously we just want to talk to you here, of course, if you're new to the national curriculum for Britain, then that's great. If not, then this might be nothing new to you, but we just want to go and go over some of our subjects that we do here at the school and how that works. So for all the years from year 1 up to year 6, they will have their class teacher who on a morning, that's the class that they go to, that's your point of call, with any little things that you need to speak to them about. And they are responsible for, of course, your child's well-being, but also teaching English, which includes reading and writing, maths, science, MSCS, which is mandatory out here in the UAE, projects for change. So that basically encompasses our humanities subjects, arts, DT. So that's all of those aspects there, where they do it through a project-based. Grow Well, which is our curriculum, because obviously we know in a very ever-changing world, we need to make sure that we're not just supporting our students academically, but supporting their well-being as well. So we have a Grow Well problem, which stands for kind of growing their well-being. They will also be leading on that technology side, both like computers, computing, and STEAM. Then during the day or during the week, and you will get timetables when you join us in September, will be specialist teachers. So all of the children will go to Arabic lessons. Some children who are Arabic A might go to additional Arabic A lessons. So it depends on where your child originates from. Everyone gets Arabic lessons, but then other children who are Arabic A get a couple of extra lessons that week as well. If your child is Islamic, then they will attend Islamic classes. Non-Islamic children, they stay with the teacher during those times, and they work on some targets in their classroom with their class teacher. We also do languages here, MFL, which is French and Spanish. So half the year, the children do French, half the year, the children do Spanish and swap over. Across year 1, 5 and 6, we also have performing arts, where they're doing drama, children also do music, PE and swimming lessons as well. So I'll now go on to talk about the next slide, Miss Perfect. So in regards to kind of timings for your school day, we have a few different timings. So drop off for Monday to Thursday is 7:15 to 7:45. So I do want to stress that we mark children as late if they're not in the classroom by 7:45. So the teacher will do the register at 7:45. And if those students aren't there, they get marked as late. So drop off is between 7:15 and 7:45 for both years 1 to year 6. Pick up Monday to Thursday. So on Monday to Thursday pickup, the pickup for years 1 to 4 is 3 p.m. Is 3 p.m. But year 5 and year 6, theirs is 10 past 3, but they are self-dismissed. So what that means is What that means is that that they leave the classroom, their teacher says goodbye, have a lovely day, and they will walk from their class to a point that you and your child have agreed to meet. So Miss Fuller and the head of Year 5 and the head of Year 6 will email this out towards the beginning of the academic year as a reminder, but Year 5 and Year 6 leave their classroom independently and they will find you at your agreed meeting point, which could be primary reception, it could be somewhere else, an agreed meeting point that you have agreed with your child. Pickup is a little different on a Friday, with pickup being at 11:50 or 12 o'clock because it's a half day. Tuesday to Thursday, we also offer ECAs and they finish at 4:10 on those days as well. So, our new students, some of our new students, obviously transitioning up from being an FS all the way up into Year 1. The first few weeks, in order to allow them to settle in to big school, as we might call it, when they're kind of in their big Year 1 primary classrooms, for the first 2 weeks, if your child is entering Year 1, they will finish at 1:30 p.m. This is to simply allow your child's day to be a little bit shorter in order for them to ease their transition and settling in process. School buses, if your child's going to get a school bus, will still will run at this time still. So if you want to get your child to use the bus, that's still be available then. So like I said, when I was doing the timings there, the register attendance is 7:45. Anyone who is absent, you can email the absent WEC as well as the class teacher. And any medical notes will be sent also to that address as well. And our attendance officer will monitor that. So any absences, if you email, report those by 7:30 to absence WEC, as well as your child's class teacher. And then we'll be able to make sure that all the children are marked in accordingly if needed. I'm going to hand you over now to Mrs. Fuller to talk about some further information.
Hi, as Miss Brunton said, I'm Mrs. Voller and I am the phase leader for Upper Key Stage 2, which is Year 5 and Year 6. So I'm going to begin by talking about the school transport. I know that some of you may opt to use our school transport service. And the company that runs that is STS. So for the transport for foundation stage, the buses will arrive daily to school between 7:15 and 7:40 a.m. And for those children in foundation stage, they will be escorted directly to their classroom. They will depart school Monday to Thursday at 1:30 or 3:20 p.m. So there's some students who will opt to stay till later, and that's if they have siblings in the school, then they might get the bus at the same time as the siblings at 3:20. But we do have buses for FS, which will leave at 1:30 as well. And on a Friday, all buses will depart at 12:15, and that's for both FS and for years 1 to 13. For years 1 to 13, the school buses arrive at the same time in the morning, 7:15 to 7:40, and they will depart school at 3:20 each day. We do have the buses leaving at these times. However, we do not offer buses for any extracurricular activities. So if your child is attending an after-school club and they are on the bus, there will not be a bus provided after the school club. So you do have to arrange your own transport if they are attending an after-school club in the school. For any inquiries regarding the bus, you can see the email for STS. You can contact them directly. And there's a phone number as well. So for example, if your child is not going to be on the bus for whatever reason, they may be sick, you might be picking them up that day. If you make sure you let the class teacher know before 11 a.m. and also if you contact the bus STS email or call them directly to let them know. At the Academy, we offer lots of extracurricular activities, so we call them ECAs. We have many free extracurricular activities which will run from a Tuesday to a Thursday, and that's for most weeks within the year. And that's for children from FS2 all the way up to secondary and into year 13. We offer a range of activities from sporting activities to art and drama, and then we have science, math, Arabic, Islamic. There's lots of activities on offer, so something to meet everyone's needs. On top of our free extracurricular activities that we do offer, we also offer some paid extracurricular activities. Again, we have a company which comes in and offer a range of activities, and these do run from Monday to Friday. Again, they are sporting activities, but also they have science and dance and a number of other areas in which they cover as well. All of our ECA options are released to parents at the beginning of each term with all of the information on how to sign up. And we aim to cover sort of a range and making sure that we can, you know, have something for everyone. I'm sure your son or your daughter will be able to find an extracurricular activity that they enjoy, as we do offer such a wide range. And then we have our house system. So this is quite an exciting part. It's something that runs through our whole school. And our house system, we have 4 houses. So we have Pearl, Onyx, Ruby and Emerald. Each child is allocated to a house at the beginning of their journey in the academy. And they will remain in that house for the time at the academy. There's a number of different things that go in line with this. So our positive behaviour policy will go in line. We give house points out for, you know, if students have done something extremely well. Also, we have competitions throughout the year, which you earn points for your house. And then at the end of each term, we have a winning house. There will be a rewards day for that house. And this can range. We've had a cinema day where they get to go to the auditorium and watch movie. We've had times when they've got to compete in different activities. It's a really fun thing and the children love it. It's a really positive initiative for the children. They're excited about earning house points. And it really gets them all, you know, up for their team as well. You will receive information from admissions with your welcome pack. Please make sure that you do look at your welcome pack, because in there will be information on which house your child will be in. Once you know which house your child is in, then you will also know what uniform to get them, because our uniform does fall in line with the house that your child is in. I will pass you on to Miss Rawlings, who will give you a little bit more information about the uniform and how that links to your house.
Thank you, Mrs. Voller. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are so looking forward to welcoming you in the new academic year. So I'm just going to talk about our school uniform for the next few slides and how we really encourage our children to take pride in wearing this. So as you can see on the screen now, we've got the core uniform clearly set out. All of this can be purchased from a store called Threads, and there's lots of those located across Dubai. Just a few things to note here with regards to winter wear. It is only the jumper and the cardigan that is allowed as part of the school uniform. There are no hoodies or anything like that. It is just the jumper or cardigan for when it's the cooler months in Dubai. Also to note, the lovely summer floral dresses, they stop at year 4. So from year 5 upwards, it's the pinstripe knee skirt with a blouse and the neck scarf, preparing them as they move towards secondary. And for the boys, from year 5 onwards, they do then wear the pinstripe trousers as opposed to the shorts. In terms of PE kit and swimwear, you can see here on the next page, we do have the Wellington swimwear as well, and the swim caps, which all children are encouraged to wear every swimming session. As Mrs. Voller mentioned, the PE kits, the swim kit, the hats, the ties, they all correspond to the house that they are in. So it's really important you look carefully at what house your child has been allocated to get the right uniform for that. Also to note, any hair accessories, also the socks, that they are blue or white in line with the school colours. And tights are allowed for those cooler months, but no leggings or anything like that. You can see on there as well, sorry, just if you could go back to the shoes, you can see the school shoes that are acceptable, the black school shoes, so no trainers other than on PE days when the children can wear white trainers. And as I mentioned, it is really important that the children come in full of pride wearing their school uniform, and we do really encourage them to dress for success. You'll see on the next slide that, there we go, some good, really great examples of children ready to learn and what that looks like. We do actually acknowledge every day children coming in dressed for success. And through that, we have some monitors who in each class will give out a golden sticker with Dress for Success on, and the children really, really enjoy getting those for looking really smart and presentable in their school uniform. So it's really important that from day 1, they have that correct uniform. Class teachers will bring it up on collection or via email if anything isn't correct. And we do hope that you will get these in time for the new school year. You can see here something very important, no trolley bags. In terms of health and safety, we don't allow trolley bags in school. So you can see here on the left-hand side of the screen, the Wellington school bag that all children need to have. And just one last thing to note on uniform, I know I've spoken about it a lot, but as a parent myself as well, the importance of labelling, I cannot stress enough. Obviously, we encourage the children to look after their items, but on occasions they can perhaps get left in a specialist or at PE, and it makes it so much easier to find that in lost property if it's really clearly labelled with their name and class. So if you can either buy the sticky labels for that or the iron-on labels, it really does help in the long run. Right, now moving on to catering at the school. Obviously, children can bring in a school lunch, but we do also offer a catering service at the school through a company called Slices. They offer a range of healthy options for your children. There's quite a lot of information on the screen. I won't read through everything there because it will come out in your handbook, but just some key points to note. All morning snacks can be ordered online. Year 1 and 2, their lunch must be ordered online. They don't go to the canteen to buy on the day. So that's really, really important if you want them to have in-school catering. From year 3 to 6, they can buy it themselves at lunchtime in school. So that's absolutely fine. And something that we do really take pride in is the fact that we're a healthy eating school. So we do encourage healthy snack and lunch boxes. We do, of course, think it's important, to have everything in moderation. So we have a treat Tuesday, which goes down very well with children and staff, where they can bring in one treat to enjoy that day. But other days we do look carefully at their lunch boxes, and we also have some healthy eating monitors in each class who also recognise that with healthy eating stickers or little lunchbox notes in that drive to really push healthy eating. One last thing just to note here, we are a nut-free, pork-free and fizzy drink-free school as well. It's really important that that's noted when children are bringing in lunches. I'm going to hand over now to Miss Brunton. Thank you so much.
So I just wanted to bring to your attention some key email addresses. So don't worry, you don't need to scribble them down. As we said, this is a presentation that has been recorded, so you will have access to that digitally later on. So just some key email addresses of some of our admin teams. So reception. So reception can be emailed at any time about anything from, you know, pickups, organising pickups if you have got a medical appointment, but however we do recommend that those medical appointments are taken outside of school hours. You've got your absence team, so when you're emailing your class teacher to also CC in the absence team as we monitor children's attendance. We look for outstanding attendance, which means your child attending school for 96% of the whole academic year. Also, you've got your medical clinic team if you need perhaps pass over any medical information or sick notes. Our registrar, any questions in regards to admissions, then you've got your registrar, whose office is also located in the main reception area. If you are a parent whose child is using the bus, we have our STS department, and they're also located in the main reception, as well as our finance team as well. And then we have our parent PRE, our parent relations executive, who is there to support on any parent queries if you perhaps need. And she is located, when you come in the main entrance, she's located on the side at one of the desks as well and can help. But those are some just kind of key email addresses that you perhaps may need. So I'm going to hand you back over to the Assistant Principal, Miss Bradley, who will give you some further information.
Thank you, Miss Brunton. We just have a few dates for your diary, things that might be really important for you to note. We have a Getting Ready event, which is for children to come in and experience a day in the school. So if your child is here, then they can come in and experience that. We have that for year 1 and 2 on Wednesday, the 12th of June from 10 AM. And from year 3 and 4 on Thursday, the 13th of June, and year 5 and 6 on Friday, the 14th of June. And I just would like to draw your attention to our head of Key Stage 1 next year, a new appointment for us with Miss Tanisha Hall. She comes from an assistant principal role at another school, and she's come here to head up our Key Stage 1 as we also say congratulations to Mrs. Rowlings, who will become an assistant principal here at Wellington Alkale. And we have our heads of year there for year 1 and 2. So Miss Jodie Han, she's currently teaching in reception, and she's going to be moving up from FS2 up to year 1 to be the head of year there. And we have Miss Sabritri, who's our current head of year 1. She's taking the children up to become head of year 2, and we welcome her back into the head of year role there. Mr. Dean is currently a year 3 teacher, and he's recently been appointed the head of year 3. And we have Miss McManaman, she continues to be our head of year 4. Miss Rogalski is our head of year 5, and Miss Durante, she continues to be our head of year 6 also. All of those leadership members you'll be able to see on your first week. They will be out and about, ready to take on any questions that you have. We also have a primary step up day, which is on Thursday, the 20th of June. This is during the school day for all of our new children. That is from 9 AM to 1 PM. And they will go from their current primary classes into their new classes to experience what it would be like in their new year, and to allow them a little bit of time for transition. And all new students, if you are in Dubai, please come along. You are invited also. It would be a nice opportunity for your children to have an initial meeting with their new class and their new class teacher. And so just to finally round up this PowerPoint for you today, our new academic year starts for new students on Monday, the 26th of August. And this is a really fantastic day for all of our new students to get together, have a look around the school, meet all of the teachers, look at the classrooms, and make friends with any other new students, which will help them on their first transition into Wellington Alkale. And then all of our students return on Tuesday, the 27th of August for the beginning of the school year. So I hope that there has been some interesting information there for you that you can take away and prepare you for the next school year in September. Obviously, if there is any other questions, we have an open door policy here at Wellington Alkale. We're all more than happy to have a conversation, answer any questions by email, or if you're in Dubai, please come into school and we're happy to meet you and answer any questions you have. Obviously, it will be a big day, both for you and your children, but we are all here welcoming you into Wellington Alkale, and we look forward to seeing you soon. So thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you in the next couple of weeks.